Hey guys, welcome to my Wednesday scope. This is probably going to be one of the last scopes that I do for a while because I am going to be out on medical leave. For those of you that know me, I'm having a surgery coming up here soon and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be able to do. Hey, thank you for joining me. Happy Wednesday. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do in the near future because I'm having surgery, so I may not be able to even wipe my own butt. But as soon as I get better and as soon as I get back, I'm going to be back and doing scopes again. Thank you for joining. Today I want to talk about 3 ways that you can be incredibly successful. Hey Janae, thank you for joining. I want to talk about 3 ways on this cold Wednesday how we can be successful. So, what do you guys think? Hey Janae. What do you guys think are the most easiest ways to be successful in today's day and time? And I'm talking about not just in your career, I'm talking about physically, mentally. Yep, keep moving, that is awesome. Well, I don't know how many of you do personal development, but I'm always looking into myself to try to make myself a better person. And I'm always trying to learn and to listen to those people who are better. And so today I'm actually cheating. I'm taking some of the most valuable information that I have learned and I have watched successful people to use to be successful. And the number 1 tip that I have for you to be successful is to know your identity. Does anyone know what your identity is? What's your identity, Janae? And this information, by the way, I am stealing from 2 of my favorite personal development mentors, Lewis Howes and Brett Lomenick. And if any of you guys know those guys, Brett Lomenick, you'll understand where this is coming from. So what does it mean to know your own identity? Who are you? Okay, your identity never changes, so you need to know who you are. For example, I might say, hi, my name is Heather Bell. I am a female. I was born in wherever, my parents are so-and-so and so-and-so. These are the things that will never ever change. Your identity will be with you forever. So I don't want you to confuse your identity with your current role. Like for example, if I say, hi, my name's Heather Bell and I'm a nurse, which of course, I've been a nurse for 20 years in the wellness industry. Right? Introvert, book lover, wife, mom, wine drinker, there you go. However, some of those things may or may not be your identity always, because I don't think you were born being a mom or being a wine drinker, even though those are fun things to do, right? So your identity is never going to change no matter what your circumstances are. Even when you die, your identity is still going to be the same. So that's the most important thing that I think you need to know about yourself. Now, the second thing, this is really important, okay? Hey Daryl, thanks for joining. I'm talking about 3 things that I think will help us all be successful in life. The first one is to know your own identity. Who are you? And you're not defined by that. Like you're not going to say, oh, I'm Daryl Allison, I do this for a living, because that's not your identity. You're Daryl, your parents are these people, you're male, you were born in this part of the country. Those things are never going to change in your identity. And that doesn't define you or give you a right to make excuses. I know a lot of us have had a really crappy upbringing, unresolved issues with parents, just relationships in general. And that does not give you an excuse to just keep going on and not do the right thing. So know your identity. The second thing is know your calling. And you know what? Really, probably your calling is never going to change either. Like, what is your calling? Janae, Daryl, what is your calling in life? If you would have to say over predominantly the longest period of time, what is your calling in life? Like for example, mine would be, I want to use the gifts that God has given me, all the tools to help people in the best ways that I can. And that's not just physically, that's also emotionally, mentally, financially. I want to help people reach financial freedom, especially women, to be able to raise their families, take care of their kids, and retire their husbands. So that is my calling. You like that? You're still working on yours? And that's awesome, Janae, because once you realize what your calling is, all this other stuff will just flow. It'll just flow into place. So my calling has never really changed. When I first started college, I decided to become a nurse. Why? Because I wanted to help people. I wanted to help them more physically, mentally, and emotionally. I did a lot of different kinds of nursing. And today, I want to help them financially and physically in a different way with nutrition and fitness. But that is still my calling. So my calling never changes. However, my assignment changes. And that's the third thing I want to talk to you about being really successful. What is your assignment? Well, first of all, Janae, you have to know what your calling is. Once you establish what your calling is, and I think if you sit down and think about it for a while, you'll figure it out pretty quickly. Just get out a pen and paper, start jotting some stuff down, and you'll figure it out pretty quickly. Now, your assignment, I think that is probably the most important thing because this is where people get very confused. All right, so your assignment is actually the things that you currently need to accomplish. So it's going to help you to do your calling, to promote your calling, to reach your calling, but it might not be the same all the time. For example, my assignment was to be a nurse, an administrator, hospice nurse, or whatever. I still do some of those things. But right now my assignment is to help people in other ways. And with this surgery coming up that I just recently found out that I'm going to have, my assignment is going to change, all right? So my shoulder surgery is going to trump my assignment that I previously had. I put together all my goals for the year in January, got with my trainer, got my nutrition down, all my financial goals, everything I want to do this year, and boom, this surgery is going to trump everything that I've decided I wanted to do. So what happens is it trumps my thoughts and my future goals. So I regroup my goals for my assignment, right? I just have to take a deep breath, regroup my goals for my assignment, and they have to be in line with my calling and in step with my identity. So, yeah, you heard that right. They have to be in line with my assignment and in step with my identity, okay, and my calling. So, even if I have to do this from my bed and I don't have any use of my right arm, my assignment is still going to go along with my calling, which is going to be to help people to the best of my ability, whether it's going to be voice texting, messaging, phone calls, or what have you, to be able to help people to be the best that they can be with the God-given talents that I have been given. So those are my 3 tips for you today to be successful. Number 1 is to know your identity. That never changes. Awesome. And being a mom is the most amazing and the hardest vocation that you could ever have. I have 4 kids. I've pretty much messed them all up. No, I didn't, but yeah, I did. So I understand that completely, and that is an awesome vocation. So that is your current assignment, right? Right? You can still work at what your calling is, and that might be part of being your mom too. That might kind of intertwine in all those assignments, right? So knowing your identity first and foremost. Number 2, knowing your calling. Like you said, Janae, you just sat down and you thought about it for a while, and that truly is the most important thing to you. It probably always has been your calling. To be a mom, to be an awesome mom. So that's awesome. Now you just got to figure out what your assignment is. Sometimes your assignment changes. You might do some really good research projects with your child in 7th grade, and then all of a sudden your child goes to college and you're not doing the homework anymore, so your assignment of being a mom is going to change. So just understand, your identity will never change. Your calling will most likely never change. You will just maybe be executed a little bit differently in your assignment. So don't get bummed out if your whole world's flipped upside down, like if you have to have surgery or something, because you can change your assignment and still fulfill your identity and your calling, okay? And I'm gonna give you 3 extra little helpful hints that Lewis Howes has given me, and they are awesome. The first one is to stay hungry, all right? Hungry. I know, Daryl, me and you are always hungry, especially when we work out. But I'm talking about like hungry, like do not ever settle for where you are, whether it's in your relationships, your career, your motherhood, whatever, financially, spiritually. Hey, Coach Andrew, thanks for joining. Don't ever settle. Always be hungry to reach the next level. Once you get to some awesome place, go to the next, go to the next, go to the next. Always realign your goals, reassign them, get deeper and deeper into it. Give it all you've got. That brings me to my second extra tip, which is hustle. Now, a lot of people think hustle is something that's like a derogatory term. Hustle does not mean like to scam somebody. Hustle means to work your off no matter what you do. Again, if it's a relationship, if it's a mother, if it's a father, if it's in your job, hustle, hustle. Hey, thank you, Coach Andrew. Thank you for joining us. We're doing 3 successful tips to make you a successful person. And I'm not going to be on for a while after this because I'm having surgery. So as soon as I can wipe my butt, I'll be back. And the third extra tip, this one is, I think, the most important. No matter how successful you get, please stay humble. Remember, first of all, where you came from. Thank God and everyone who has helped you to get where you are. And I'm assuming if you're successful, there's probably a team of people who have helped you to get there. So always remain humble. Always remain in the off scene, just really empowering and edifying your team, God, your family, everyone who has gotten you to the point where you are. So stay humble. And the greatest way that I do that is I have a gratitude journal. Now, if you decide to do that, it's awesome. The first time you do it, it's going to take you about 3 hours, because if you sit down and start thinking about what you're grateful for, you're probably going to take a long time. But then every day, get up in the morning, 3 minutes before you get in the shower or get your work on or whatever, think about something else that you're grateful for, and I promise you, it will completely change how you look at your day. You will wake up and be like, oh, it's freezing cold outside. I gotta get in the shower, go to work, and it's early, and I gotta work out and meal prep, whatever. And I gotta have a shoulder surgery, and it's gonna snow, and all this stuff. But I am so grateful for so many things. So to be successful, know your identity, know your calling. Those 2 things should never change. And then know what your current assignment is. Write out all of your goals. Go for it. I love you guys. Have an awesome Wednesday. And if it's cold where you live, stay warm. And I hope to see you soon.